Okay, so the plan is I'm going to show a couple of different ways to be able, or actually two different ways to be able to post a video to YouTube. Now, keep in mind, you can do that. You can create your video with your cell phone or with an actual videotape. I know that the laptops, including these little Chromebooks, come with their own little video programs. I just was having some struggles with all of those methods for a number of different reasons, and one of them is I just have real poor internet connection. So I ended up getting a program called Screencastify, which for teachers is $29 a year. And even though the other ways were free, I just found this particular method easier for me. And for some reason, it's faster. So what you're seeing to start with right now on the screen is what ends up being on my screen after I finish videoing. And I won't go into all the details of Screencastify, but basically it's just pretty much hitting a couple of buttons and then it's filming. In this case, it filmed me just a video of me without being able to see the desktop. But what you see right now is me filming myself with a desktop there as well. So that's two advantages I find to using it. When the video first finishes without me doing anything, it instantly uploads it to Google Drive, which is really quick, even out here in the middle of nowhere. So that's been the number one advantage to me, is it's instantly saving and I'm not having to wait long periods of time to get that to save. And if you'll notice right here, after it saves to Google Drive, it gives me these two options, which was, again, extremely easy for me. Now, I've not used Share to Classroom, but I'm very intrigued by that. And that's going to be the next thing that I do, because right now that's all I'm doing is just sharing to Classroom. I'm just going a different route so I can go through YouTube. And that's because that's just familiar for me. Anyway. So the first way I'm going to show you is just simply because I've got to do that right now to this one. So once Screencastify is finished and it uploaded to Google and this screen shows up, I'm going to click push to YouTube. And this is where this is extremely easy for me. Now, it chose my personal email account because that was most likely the email that I had up last. Now, I noticed on days that I have both my school email and my private email up, it gives me the option of either one. So I can decide which channel I want to do it on. Now, if you wanted to publish it just to your regular school email account, that's not a problem. You're doing it if you're doing it for school anyway. I have a private one just because I often do sermons on it as well. And so just have my own channel. But you do have the option there. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm leaving it there. Obviously, it's the only choice it's giving me this time. And I'm having to change this so I'm going to put public on it right now because I don't have any kids on it. If I had kids on it, I would choose the unlisted, because at the end I could just get this little get the address for the video. Nobody else would be able to find it except for the other people that I gave my link to. And so it keeps kids private, where you're only sharing it in a very safe, secure environment. But for mine, it's just me. So I'm hitting public. Then, and of course, you see where it verifies that. The one thing I would always say is make sure you change your title up at the top, which is not hard. You just click it and put anything you want. And for me, in the description, I'm keeping it very simple. And that's because you can make it quite elaborate the other direction. But I don't really need anything that elaborate for what we're doing now. So, Weird Carolina. Would help if I could type while I'm filming. Sand River, Emerald City, and the other one was Healing. I cannot spell. Healing Springs. Then, of course, it's just saying, do you agree to all the YouTube things? It's handling it on its own right now. And that is another good thing. It's not a fast process on this end, but it seems faster using Screencastify because of the fact it goes to Google. Now, let's pretend that you decided you didn't want to go this route, but instead you had filmed your video on a phone or a video camera or already on this, no matter how you make the film, you've got to get it into your computer by, connecting the two and having it import into your computer. But from that point, it's living on your computer. The little Chromebooks, again, I'm not a computer expert, but I was thinking these little tiny Chromebooks, or maybe just Chromebooks in general, don't have their own internal memory. So that may be one of the problems with doing it any other way other than a system like this for this type of computer. Regular laptops, I do it all the time because I film with a video camera at church. Now, so I'm going to leave that going the way that it is, but we're going to, yay, see, it says that your recording has been uploaded to YouTube. That's super fast. Like, I can't do that kind of speed with any other program. I'm going to leave it alone because what I know from past is it did upload to YouTube, but right now it has to process, and that could be a little bit longer. But we're going to go back over here and pretend I didn't have Screencastify at all, but instead just had the regular camera. So when I went to my regular YouTube, and you have the ability on YouTube, if you did have multiple emails, to change, you'll say manage your Google account. I've got it on my personal one, but if you had multiple emails, if you wanted a different channel, you would just click and change that one over to a different email so it went under a different channel name. But I'm fine because it's in my private one anyway, so I'm good. So I go to my little video camera and I click upload video. Probably not going to go a long ways with it just because living out here in the woods, if it's already processing one video, I may just blow its mind trying to do two at the time. But what I can basically show you is when the YouTube screen comes up like this, you hit select file. And I'm just going to try to find, let's see, I don't have many videos on here. We'll pick one of these and just think it's quite possibly one of the, ooh, and now my other stuff's in the way. Let me see if I can move the screen. Please. Move myself maybe. Yay, okay. So I've clicked on a video and I'm going to hit open. And hopefully if it's like a regular video, okay, good. See, it's doing it. At this point, you just got a series of questions that you're answering. It says title, so you want to type in your own title, your own description. Thumbnails, it's going to capture a few images from your video, so you want to pick the one where you don't look like your mouth is just wide open like a crazy woman, and sometimes it doesn't give you any other options but that. But anyway, you kind of get to pick one of the three. If there are children, if it's for children, and all of ours have been, you're going to notice a screen, and probably got it hidden behind here right now. Let's see. Yeah, made for kids. I click that. That, to me, that's important because that kind of, if a commercial were to get on it, which it's probably not going to with us because I assume it's only commercials for people who have channels that actually make money. That's not us. So I would click yes, made for kids, and click on through. And of course, I've got to go ahead and finish telling it yes, it's for kids, so it knows. You're just hitting next every time. I want to make sure we get to, it says the elements. I don't get into any of that with these kind of videos. I don't really fancy it up. All right. This is where I would have chosen public if you don't have kids in it and you don't care if it's shared. Unlisted is where you would go back and get this little video link right here. And that's what you would share with your kids or with your families if there are kids in it. Private's not good for this at all because private, I think sometimes people get that kind of confused. It would have been private only to you, and that wouldn't have been much benefit. Unlisted is going to be more the route you want to go. I'm not going to hit save because I definitely don't want to go the whole process with this. I need up that time, so I'm going to hit X. But do know it can go kind of slow, and once it's uploaded, it's also going to then need to process. But you can see when you get in these screens and when you've got other videos, it tells you if it's public, it tells you if it has restrictions, the date. Any of these at any time, I can hop back in, hit the edit button, take things out, add things to, not to the video, but to the descriptions and that kind of thing. Yeah, and so I'm trying to think if there's anything else to add to that. Again, this is probably the simplest way for me, but either way works. So I'm going to stop now so that I don't continue to waste your time. But if you have any questions, you can feel free to give me a call or send me a text or a email, and I will help you with any questions that you have. And it may take me a second to hang up because I'm still new to this program as well. Goodbye.